What is up? What is up? What is up, everybody? It's your...
Stuff, you know, with like tools and whatnot. Twenty eggs left. So, hi, little dude. Hey everyone, welcome to the ChamGirl podcast. Today I have someone who's very special to, I would say, probably the most important person in the chameleon community. His name is Bill Strand. He is with the Chameleon Academy. So if you've ever done any Google searches about chameleons, you've probably seen some information pop up from him. So I'm very excited to have him on with me tonight. Hi there, Bill.
Well, hello.
How are you this evening?
I am doing very well, although we seem to have an echo coming on somewhere. What the heck? It's like it's a blast from the past.
Did we have it earlier?
No, we did not. There we go.
I'm messing with my...
That's all kinds of fun. You know what? How about this? I'm going to go get some headphones and see if that solves the problem.
Okay.
James Cross is in the audience. James, can you dance?
Oh my gosh, yes. James, are you here? Hi there, Mark. Maybe while we wait for him, I'll see if... Actually, I know who will come out. It's Mr. Mondays. One of my chameleons. He is one of my OGs. All right, we're gonna get some headsets. There we go.
All right, did that? Let's see if that fixed it. Maybe. Well, you got okay.
I don't hear it. Do you hear it on your end still?
We're good now.
Good.
No, actually, now I hear it still.
That's awesome. You have a headset like that close by to you. I'd have gone upstairs.
Yeah, I still hear an echo on my side.
Is it when I talk or is it when you're talking?
Yeah, it's unfortunately it's like a couple sec. I get the entire conversation, both me and you, like 3 seconds afterwards. Let's see. Yeah, Mark, unfortunately, I'm not using my phone on this one. So, okay, it looks like I am the only one that is getting this wonder bar. Let me check my settings.
When I say something now, is it still echoing when I say something? Hey, Marcia.
Let's go with
it. Hey there, Nate.
Yeah, it's like a 5-second echo, so it's very strange. But,
so it's like a delay for you? Like when I talk, is it a delay?
So everybody else this isn't happening for everybody else. It's just something special.
Like, yeah, everything's very synced when you talk for me. Like when you're talking, I'm hearing it perfectly.
ChamGirl is echoing, as Marcia's saying. This is very strange. All right, well, you know what? In that case, let's just go with it, and I am going to work through it.
Use the force, Bill.
There's, you know what? But I got to say, Brittany, can't believe you start this off by embarrassing me.
so sorry. I'm so sorry.
We start off, you had that awesome intro, and my people have been saying, Bill, where's your intro? Come on, you used to have fun intros. Where's your intro? And now you got to show me up like this. I tell you.
I'm so sorry. I did not mean for there to be an echo. I've never had the problem with the echo before.
Oh, no, I'm talking about the intro.
I mean,
awesome intro.
I think you've got a lot going on, though, where I think, and I don't know that you need one. You got so much going on.
One, but they are requesting, so I'm going to have to put one together.
And they're fun. They're fun. And there's a lot of different apps now that make it easier for us to make our own. So I do think you would be able to come up with something that is even better.
Oh.
So what did you start with reptiles that ended up getting you to where you're at now?
You know what? I am going to have to figure out how to. Can I please come back on? Because I am getting that 5-second delay here. And so it's really hard for me to answer a question unless you ask it 5 seconds ago. So everybody, hang tight. I'll be right back. Oh, okay. Do.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, what's up, sis? So I'll take just a little bit of time. Sorry, guys, I had to reposition. I thought I was just backstage doing all that stuff. So I'll ask you, hun. I know we got Father's Day coming up this weekend, but I know that there's Columbia that's crashing through our Missouri doors. Are you gonna go out to the Columbia show, or what do you have going this weekend?
Is it Saturday or Sunday, the show?
Sunday, I believe. Father, so it's Father. Oh, hold that thought. Hold that. This is a perfect time for that, conductor. Check this out.
Oh my gosh.
Whee!
No.
Do it again. Roll it back. Keep it going.
No.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Here we go. The Show Me Superheroes.
I was so tired. I actually forgot if I actually jumped or not, because I do that jump sometimes. But the flying away, I was like, oh God, no, I didn't do that. How is it, Bill?
Now it's like he can't hear us at all.
I can hear you, but I get that 5-second delay. So
do you want me to try to leave and come back? With that?
I don't know, because the thing is, I hear you when you speak, and then I hear it in 5. Oh, wait a minute. I fixed it.
What was it?
I am so sorry, everybody. Because I had the show playing on another tab. I'm sorry, everybody. That was me. Oh.
Hey, you know, that's what it is anytime you go live. And Bill, you already know what it is, man. So I'm gonna leave the screen now, and I think we're gonna pretend this didn't happen.
All right. Where's the Men in Black pen here? All right. So let's go back. Let's do that question again.
Yes. Okay. I always ask basically anybody this question, but I really want to know with you, what was your first reptile? Like, what was the very foundation, the very first step into becoming who you are now?
Ooh, first step was absolutely a love for the natural world and a love for dinosaurs. And I just, I'm going to get a ration of garbage from my people. I love for the natural world. And so it really started with dinosaurs, went to birds, and then to reptiles. And then I found out what a chameleon is. And, once you find perfection.
Were they your first reptile? Was a chameleon your first?
Actually keeping a reptile?
Yeah.
The first reptile I kept was a green anole. I'm sure of it, something like that.
So that was.
Yeah, and then I just kept trying different reptiles because I loved reptiles, but as fun as they were, nothing really caught me.
No. Well,
until
I feel like
chameleon.
we keep reptiles because dinosaurs are extinct. That's the way it is for me,
in our hearts.
Yes, it's like I had all the like dinosaur figurines. Like I was such a little nerd. I had the the real I feel so bad for my parents because I was so particular about it, like with the Mojo and like the expensive brands. But like the figurine like they were collectibles. I did not physically play with these things. I would display them in my room, like in like the order of the period of which they were from.
Yeah, Brittany, you come from a different era.
Yeah.
You came from an era where you had species specific toys.
Yes.
I come from an era where we were lucky to get Tyrannosaurus, Ankylosaurus, Triceratops, Stegosaurus. Good luck getting Allosaurus.
Oh no Allosaurus. No.
Yeah, you even get Dilophosaurus and Velociraptor and stuff like that in figurines.
Oh,
and boy,
there's so many raptors
crazy.
now. There's so many raptors now. So you actually kept birds too, or are you just fascinated with birds?
Oh, I started with birds. I love birds. When I was a kid, I decided I was going to make a book with all the birds in the world because I was really disappointed in the bird books. No bird book had all the birds. They just had a bunch of different birds. And I had like 3-4 books. I'm going, this is ridiculous. Give me one book that has all the birds. So I decided as a kindergartner that I was going to make a book with all the birds. And
how did that go?
Then I realized why there's no one book with a whole lot of birds is because there's a heck of a lot of birds. I ended up
so many
having one page that said little brown birds. And I'm not making a page for every sparrow. What? This is crazy. So
but that's really incredible because you didn't have you weren't searching online or anything. Like you're just that's the bird I observed.
Computers didn't exist back then.
No, but it's very impressive because I think that's how my son is. Like that, he's starting to recognize the difference in like little birds that he sees. He's like, oh, wait a minute. He's like, that's a woodpecker, but it looks different. I'm like, well, there's like 7 different types of woodpeckers. And he's like, what? Like they're not all the same? I was like, no. Okay. And so now he has my state the birds from the state of Missouri book, the identification book. And he's carrying it around, looking at stuff, and it cracks me up. Like I love it. It's so sweet to see that in like my children now.
Well, it did make for some conflict as a child when you know what the heck is going on, because when people would call rock doves pigeons, I would just go, "What are you doing? Why are you doing it?" Oh. And then when
you're wrong.
I was hiking for Boy Scouts. They're going to play a trick on me. You want to go snipe hunting?
And you're like, no, listen.
I was looking at, what are you talking about? There's not going to be any snipes here. This is a mountain. They're a shorebird.
Like, they're not the imagination. Like, they're not the misbelief. What is that? Oh, I'm sorry. Like, my screen has been so weird right there. No, I fell for that when I was a little kid. I am not going to lie. I was like, oh, I'm going to go snipe hunting. And then they abandoned me in the woods for a minute.
Yeah.
I was like, that was wrong.
Yeah. I looked at them like they were crazy because they were in the wrong habitat.
No, my daughter, you brought up like you would get aggravated with people. My daughter, I took her into the Show Me Reptiles. They have a store in Troy where I live. And so she might have been 4. Like she was like at the very end of being 3, or she just turned 4. And we were inside the store looking at light bulbs. I was there for light bulbs, heat bulbs or something. And they have a tortoise there named Scooter. And that's just their store tortoise. His name is Scooter. And they have this big old like area over in the store, and people go and look at him. Well, I told her that's a tortoise like however many times. Like she loves to go in the store with me. There was this mom that came with her daughter. Her daughter had been like a little older than Amelia, like 7. And she goes, Mom, look at this turtle over here. And my daughter like is on the other side of the store with me. And she goes, no. And she runs over. She's like, it's a tortoise. It's not a turtle. Like yells at this girl. And I was like, and her mom's like, well, she's right. It is a tortoise.
He's passionate, but right. Wait a minute. Two Turtle Tom, you're saying that they're back to being rock pigeon? Rock doves are now rock pigeons?
Wait, what?
I know Two Turtle Tom's bringing in some pretty provocative stuff here. I mean, Two Turtle Tom, you really stand behind that? So anyway, okay, well maybe we shouldn't get into fights over bird names here because
Is that like, do they keep going back and forth on the actual?
I didn't know. I thought they were always rock doves, and everybody called them pigeons. But now they're rock pigeons.
No,
Oh, freaking!
we can't keep up with that.
You know what? I'm gonna stay on top of chameleons. All right.
We're good with the
I've left
chameleons.
the birds behind. I have enough figuring out whether it's cuculatum or cuculata, Maramontana, Maramontanum.
Learning how to pronounce the locales. I was always so afraid that I was going to say it wrong.
Oh, I say things wrong all the time. Honelii. I never say that the same way twice.
No, I was. I had one of my chameleons out, and I didn't see I had a container of hornworms behind my laptop, and he saw it, and he tried to get it, and the whole thing just fell down. I was like, Mr. Mondays, no.
Bamboo's freaking awesome.
Yeah. So when did you use? I've heard on your podcast before. You actually used to breed chameleons, or how long did you do that?
Breed chameleons?
Did you say you're on a commercial, or like you bred?
Oh, I've spent my life breeding chameleons. I love chameleons, and I love breeding chameleons. And it's only been in the recently that I have clawed back and forced myself to be disciplined to only breed the shamrock chameleons, because that's what I'm going to dedicate myself to, and not breed all the Jacksons I have, the Panthers I have. I will try the Parsons. I will. That I will allow myself. And we're getting bifidus. We're bringing bifidus in as a grassroots project. So I'll probably help with that. So see, this is what happens. This is the slippery slope, and all of a sudden now I'm breeding everything again.
I'm about ready to start breeding grasshoppers. I'm gonna take the course that Dean.
Oh yeah.
He's like, you should. I was like, okay. So now, grasshoppers. It's like, how do I go from chameleons now to all these different insects in my house by choice? I feed them. I clean up for them. I take really good care of bugs in my house. Like, I'm choosing to do this.
Yeah. Welcome to the chameleon slippery slope.
It is a slippery slope. Like, I am in the chameleon basement, and I'm already thinking about this room upstairs. I want to rip the carpet out because then I want to make that another chameleon room for. I want to have them where carpets at, because we know that could not be fun.
Appropriate thing to do with the room.
Oh yeah, just rip the carpet out, make it a chameleon room, the reptile room. That's where the bearded dragon, the Kenya sand boa, and the leopard gecko are at. So I'm like, and the Parsons are in the mud hallway. What we used to call O's. I love what we used to call O's from Lee.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So that was the problem. O'Shaughnessy. Nobody would say the word O'Shaughnessy. Kaluma O'Shaughnessy. That's what I call the shamrock chameleon.
I can't say that.
What was that?
How do you say that again? Say it again.
Kaluma O'Shaughnessy.
O'Shaughnessy.
Yeah. The thing is that when you are talking, you don't want to say 5 syllables, so nobody would say O'Shaughnessy.
Shamrock sounds better. I agree.
So everybody was shortening it to O's, and I was thinking, oh come on, we got to do something better than that. I mean, I understand why, and it's okay, but then I was just thinking, Shamrock is just so perfect because of the greens and the blues, and it honors O'Shaughnessy, who was Irish, and
squishy. Who's squishy?
Squishy is not out right now. Squishy is a baby panther chameleon that came out during one of my live sessions, and since then everybody's wanted to have an update with Squishy every time I come on camera. So but you know what, give me a second, I'll see if I can find Squishy.
That's gonna be fun. I want to see Squishy. I have this little male, his name is Travolta. You can't get him?
I found him. Let's see if I can.
You found him.
He's good. There he is.
Oh my gosh, he's so little and so cute.
Oh yeah, he is.
Oh, squishy.
Absolutely. And he is getting some color coming in.
How old is he?
The thing is, I don't know how old he is. But the thing is, these guys are small. It's like I'm having. They
I
are
like
not
how
growing.
you talk wild horses. Squishy has a neighbor also.
Yes, I've got 6 of them here.
He like shows all the babies.
Yeah. Let's see.
So one locale of Panther
That
Chameleons.
is Squishy's
Oh, there he
neighbor.
is.
So
What's his name? Oh, look at the
this
bars.
one doesn't have a name yet.
Look at that. Oh, he's what locale are they?
Oh, we don't know.
We don't know.
No, this one came from a female. These came from a female that we aren't sure. We have a suspicion that they're Mbanja, but we're
Is
not
she wild
sure.
caught?
Yeah.
Okay.
Came
I've been out traveling, or I've been very busy on Saturdays, and I've been able to come in on the Saturdays in your podcast, which has been aggravating.
Yeah, well, and so I've got them.
I've missed
And
like
yeah,
the past 2 weeks.
I don't know. They're just so I got a lot of different ages, a lot of different sizes, and so I don't know how old any of them are. Really, all I'm doing is I'm going to raise them until we know what locale they are. That's my
But
job.
your babies will prove that for you.
Yep.
You think though, because they're from a Banja region, you're thinking they are a Banja, more than likely.
I don't know because that's how they were labeled. But for some reason, the guy who got it in had reason to be cautious and not be totally sure. And so the only thing you can do is raise up the babies.
Yeah. So you get to keep these for a while and watch them get their colors.
Yeah, it should only be a couple of months. But the thing is, these guys are growing very slowly.
Yeah.
And I don't know why these are growing so slowly. They're not carpet chameleons. So
is that
anyway.
something typical with like a wild caught female, you think, or like with the amount of nutrition she could get in the wild versus
I don't think so. The babies are healthy, and so it's not like they have birth defects, and so they came out of the egg healthy, and so now they should be going. I mean, they have enough heat. Some of them are outside in the California sun. They have more food. I mean, they got food all over all the time, and I mean, they're pooping all over the place. Then we got to find out who gets the neighbor. So, and so this is one of the things I've been. I have to figure this out. Why are they growing so slowly? So, I mean, I just wrote a book on how to take care of hatch. What the heck?
Do you have your book with you by chance so you could show it?
Yeah, I got it right here. Yeah, so got this book, Tiny Dragons. It's the art of hatchling chameleon care. Oh, should I mirror this? Can I mirror this?
You are. I can read it just fine.
Okay. So, yeah. And so this book is, I mean, you can see it's got.
Oh my gosh.
So it is 192 pages about how to take care of chameleon hatchlings. And this isn't how to breed them. This takes care of, this teaches you from incubation up to about 3 months old.
Then that's the first book like that.
Yeah.
There's not really anything about how to take care of the babies.
Well, yeah. And the reason why is because it's a very small niche of the market. So if you're going to write a book, you're going to write it about that has the most people who need it. But the life stage that has the most people is like from 3 months to old age. And that's the book I'm working on now. But I'm an educator. And the one thing in this community needed was this little slice of life.
Yes.
Now, most people don't have. Let's see. I've experienced this with captive hatch Mbanja clutches. Okay, this is good information for me. Not all had some be slow and proved to be Mbanja. That's nice. Great observation. Thank you very much for sharing that.
Don't they grow slower than other like ambilobi?
I have heard that Mbanja can be slower. It's nice that I hear from somebody else who's actually now
that's what they do. Well, because that's where I got Mr. Meeseeks from. If you would like to see Mr. Meeseeks.
Oh, sure.
Get Mr.
Lisa,
Meeseeks.
as far as Mbanja being on the smaller side of panthers, I'm sure there's variations in the wild, and I'm actually not expert enough to say confidently, but I know that we have to be careful with how we compare the locales here in captivity, because especially if we're working with the captive hatched bloodlines, we have a very small number of bloodlines in the captive hatched space that a lot of people work with. And so a lot of breeders are working with the same bloodlines. And so if we have a line that is smaller, then it may seem like Ambanjas are smaller when it was just that line. So we have to be careful. I've heard that as well, but we got to be careful because of that. Where can you find this book? My website, chameleonacademy.com. You can find this book. Just go there. And look at that Ambanja.
He's about to shed, so he's like at that he'll be a year on June 24th.
Oh.
So that's what's from the Reddy's Rainforest. He's like, oh gosh, I see that webcam.
Yeah, I absolutely love that we are bringing in more of the. Yeah, I'm going to share this. You know what? I'll share this. I'm going to share the link on the chat. Oh, has failed to post. Oh, for some reason it doesn't want me to. It's not letting me post to the chat. Oh well. But if you look at chameleonacademy.com, it'll show you there. You can get it there. Yeah, I love the fact that the whole wild type Ambanja is becoming more of a thing, because I remember a while ago, what was it, 2017 or something? I wanted to get an Ambanja, and Bill's back up. I wanted to get an Ambanja, and you have all of these specialty Ambanjas.
Yes.
It was really hard to find the wild type. And so I just love the fact that that's becoming more of a thing.
I think the ones you're talking about are beautiful. I just would not personally want to get into breeding them. I think it's just a bit more complex, and it's,
Yeah, it's really cool to see the colors that come out, but it's like we've created a designer.
I agree.
Designer chameleon, which is okay. I'm not gonna. I don't have a problem with that, but I'm sad that when we lose the wild type, that's when I'm sad. So okay, wait.
Like the wild type in keeping in general, you mean? Like
I mean the color, the wild type color. I mean. Yeah. For the longest time, we've had those captive bloodlines, which, by the way, are
not that weird.
It's a milestone that we have gone beyond 10 captive generations. That is incredible. So, I'm not going to be on the side of saying, "Oh, that's bad" or anything. That's wonderful, but we need something beyond those main bloodlines. I mean, so many breeders. Okay, so this goes into something that's very special that's happening right now. But when so many breeders grab onto those bloodlines and everybody's working with the same bloodlines, then we get this very shallow gene pool in captivity. And we think, oh, wow, look at all those different breeders. And we have all this different diversity. No, it's all the same. But this is something that's happening that's very exciting that's happening in the chameleon community. Is we are getting a new generation of breeder that is, and by the way, it's not just new breeders, it can be the old breeders who are keeping up and with the times and changing, but we're getting this new generation of breeders that, number one, are individually housing. They're caring more about the enrichment of the chameleon, and there's this more of an appreciation of the wild the wild bloodlines.
They're beautiful the way they are.
Yeah, and once again, I don't want anybody to think that I'm criticizing the absolute victory, the success of us that we were able to get like beyond 10 generations. That is a huge milestone. So I'm not criticizing that, but I don't want that to be everything that we've got.
No, I with one of my doms, her grandsire, and I had to find F1 because of this. I had to find F1 yellow body blue bar. I couldn't find a reputable breeder that did not have that sire somewhere in their bloodline, where it was going to be his name was, oh gosh, they changed it to Pyro was his name. But I think it was like Peregrine. They changed his name. So who was it? Linda. She bred him originally. Then she sold him, I want to say, to Colorado Chameleons. And yeah, he was everywhere. I don't even know how it was possible that he was everywhere. I couldn't find anything without him.
Yep.
So I had to get F1.
Yeah.
To get something.
It's something very important. If anybody's out there and wants to be a breeder, think, okay, on one hand, it's really good to start with the captive bloodlines because these have been refined. I mean, you get the babies off of those captive bloodlines. I mean, they are huge and they've been refined to be, of course, the ones that do best in captivity are the ones that continue on. And so you've got this, we've got a very incredible bloodline here. And by the way, I'm just going to say we are fortunate in the chameleon world that the people that have been working on that, and I mean, Ed Kammer is a big name in there, who has been working on making these 10 generations. He's been doing a lot of making sure that he has vigor. It's not just for color. So like you see some of these other reptile communities, it's all about the patterns. It's all about the color. And you have these things that can't function in life.
Right.
Ed Kammer, who is the main architect behind our like 13 captive generation lines, he made sure that he bred in vigor. And so we are lucky in the chameleon community.
They're so passionate too about what they do. Anytime I'll talk to Liddy on the phone, and it's like we talk for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, like every time. And it's like their passion, and it's so neat to see now that their daughters picked up a lot of it, and they're all still working it. And I've gotten a few from them lately. I got my Nosy Babe hair from them, which I'm excited for. they're that really pretty blue that they have, and I got a couple females from them, but everything's just so exact, precise, and professional. And they know when I feel like to throw something in to keep like the decent size, so you don't start to have the smaller males.
Yeah, but I just want to let everybody realize they've been doing this for 20 years. And if they decided, Ed Kammer, let's put a name to it, decided he was just going to go for color. He wanted the bluest blue or the blur, whatever, and just go for color and not breed in vigor. Our community would be totally different right now. We would be having chameleons that just can't function, that glow in the dark, but they can't live life. So because of his decisions, our 13th generation chameleons are strong. So if you are a new breeder, you have those genetics available to you and they are strong. Now, I'm not going to say but, and we are getting a new generation of keepers that are saying, okay, we're going to build on this. We're not replacing it. We're not saying, oh, you're horrible. No, this entire community is built on that foundation. But what we're going to be able to do is the new breeders are going to say, okay, that's behind us. We can turn our attentions towards greater enrichment.
Yes.
And this is, message to the community. Let's not look at what the people who've been around here for 20 years and say, oh, you're bad. You don't know what you're doing. You got old stuff. Just remember, let's not pay attention to that. Pay attention to what's ahead. What are we doing? What are we building on that foundation to make it better? That's our job.
I mean, it's like that I think, how long have you had the Chameleon Academy where people can go online and read what they need to read about panther chameleons?
Let's see. I mean, I've been doing this for 45 years, so I've had a lot of different outreaches along the way. Yeah. But the Chameleon Academy itself started as a podcast.
But then for people who don't like someone who's just doing a Google search and they're like, okay, how do I take care of a panther chameleon? If I type that in, honestly, I think you're like, well, boom, when's it going to be the first result?
That's been since 2020.
So for the past 5 years. So I still have my first female. She'll be 5 soon. My first female panther chameleon. And I think that how everyone has been able to have all this information that we have access to, and we're willing to help other people. Because it's like, I have not really met any breeders who are like, oh, I don't want to tell you how to take care of it. Like, they all want you to have a chameleon that thrives, and they want to see that chameleon thrive. So they're giving you all the information that they have learned. And so now, like, I'm having a 5-year-old female. She's almost 5. She'll be 5 this year. So I know that used to be something that wasn't that common with female panther chameleons. And so that was my first. And I feel like that a lot has to do with your website and me being able to go and like look everything I needed to research before I started it. Because most of the time, when I first got into it, I think most people, what I read was most people would lose their chameleon in the first 3 weeks of its life after they got it.
Well, it depends on who you talk to and what the situation is. But
if you went to a big chain pet store, they're like, oh, there's a chameleon, you get it. And like more than likely, it's probably gonna have issues because you don't know anything. But because I was able to look at I was like, oh, I'll avoid that altogether and go and find a reputable breeder.
And it has been, I gotta say, we in the chameleon community, there's a number of things that we have an advantage over other communities for the complete random coincidence that we happen to have some key people that care about something that they didn't have to care about.
Right.
And I just look at our community and we got all the problems and all the drama and all the politics of every other community. But there's a couple of key milestones that could have gone another way, and we would have a lot less of a community that we have now.
I agree. So I do, because I get asked this a lot, because we were talking about we were talking about how how Ed and Liddy with their breeding, and how I mentioned how I at one point had to get an F1. So I know a lot of people think that that's controversial. What is your I understand, like, there's especially some locales, like, you are going to have to branch out to wild caught to keep the risk of inbreeding down, to keep the genetics.
I'm sorry.
What's your input? What is your opinion on the wild caught? Because I mean, I know I have to get F1 sometimes just to avoid any chance of inbreeding, so on and so forth. But sometimes when I bring that up to people, they kind of don't like it.
They don't like us using wild caught?
Well, that's just people that don't, you know.
Oh, you're talking about the, I just want to work with somebody who works with captive hatch because I don't want to take things from the wild?
Yes.
That's, I mean, my opinion on that is, okay, these people don't understand the whole system, and we need the wild caught. But what I will say is I firmly believe that the wild caught that come in should go to breeders and not to keepers.
I agree with that.
And especially panther chameleons, where you can go and you can find so many excellent breeders. And these breeders are going to handhold you through the first year of life.
Yes, that's what I always say. Like, we're going to be there. That's what happened with me. They held my hand.
Yeah.
And that's what needs to happen. And Charlene, she's getting 2 from me. And I'm really excited for when that happens. But in my lives, like, I'm always like, go to the chameleonacademy.com. Like, he's got very good information, but you explain it in a way where us non-scientist people can understand it, which is so important, because you can read and you're like, bleh, like, what am I reading right now? I don't understand it. And it'll turn somebody off who could be a really good chameleon keeper, but just they can't.
And that is a very important part of my outreach, is I'm trying to make it so it's accessible to anybody. And that is why my care guides are updated every 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
Not because things change, is because I get feedback from people as to how they've interpreted my care guides. And I say, okay, I could have said that better. I could have made a better description about it. And so I update the care guides because of the feedback I've gotten from the community, so I can make it better to communicate. And you'll notice my care guides have grown.
When did we discover fogging? Was that like within the past 5-6 years that we discovered how important fogging was?
That was in 2000, like 17, 18.
17. I knew it was like relatively new in terms of keeping chameleons.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you the exact history of that. It's
Okay, yes.
okay. That came from when I was doing research on the veiled chameleon, because I wanted to know the ins and outs of the veiled chameleon. And we get these little like clips on YouTube, and this idea that they're in the arid lands and such. And so I said, no, I need information. And so I did a search. I was looking all over trying to figure out where I wanted to find people who actually saw them in the wild. That's how you go. That's how you find good information. And there's a big civil war going on over there. And so I found 3 people. And one of them was Peter Nechas. And he had the advantage that his father was a doctor that worked in Yemen. And so he took, I think, so he took about 30 trips over there in the wet and the dry season. And so I was able to get a whole rich first person view of them in the wild. And one thing we talked about was the fog banks that came over. And it's like things started to click, because hydration is one of those things that we really didn't focus on in the chameleon world. It was like, okay, we're just going to miss them a lot of times during the day because they're always thirsty during the day.
It's because they weren't.
Well, yeah, until we figured out, wait a minute, we can fog them at night and they won't be thirsty during the day. It's like huge light bulbs going off. And then a long time testing. I mean, I was testing this. I test things for a year or so before I actually talk about it. So yeah, just to make sure. It's we got a lot going on in the chat. Have you heard of the Fog Father?
Oh, I know. Well, James is going to be coming on eventually soon for this. I think it was from that date.
Okay, then you'll get a whole lot of fog fathering that day.
Oh yes. I mean, I'm still over here with my 12-disc House of Hydro, thinking like,
oh boy.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was him talking about the fog and how important it was, and then these chameleons in the fog, and from there, it just went off, and it became controversial, and it became as far as I'm concerned, the solution to a lot of the questions that I've had for decades. And I would have never expected that to be the answer.
When I first got the breeder I got my first from was on the like it's bad side, and was like, you don't need to do that, you don't need to do that, like it's just going to cause a URI. And I was like, oh, okay. And thankfully, like they were able to provide me with the good foundation steps to keep, But then when I was like, I felt comfortable branching out, because I always say try to get your information from like one person at first, so you don't get overwhelmed with like different sources of information that might conflict with each other. Like I'm like, find a good online source, and then if you're talking like one person, because you're gonna at first you'll be overwhelmed. So then I felt comfortable, and I ended up talking with Jonathan Hill a lot, and I went to the fog side. So
it works.
It does. It's a huge difference. And the parsons, I see them like when my fogger's going off, is like they're on a little bit of a different schedule, because I can get away with later down here, because they're where I have east facing windows where they're at. So down here I have 2 north facing windows in the basement, so that doesn't get much light. But I will go upstairs, and I say that they love that. But I'll see it like sometimes just like dripping. You'll just see them like they're like asleep, and they're just like it's going in their mouth, and it's like they love it. They love water. Those suckers. So you weren't kidding about their water intake.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. It's so much.
And that's one reason why fogging is so important with Parsons chameleons, is because they do it slowly. And so fogging is a slow hydration. It takes all night, and especially with Parsons. And so yeah. It's
do you ever a kind of a bad fun fact about me is I like to make burner accounts on Reddit, and I like to post pictures of my enclosures on.
So hanging out at Nocturne Alley.
And I'll post pictures of my enclosures. I'm like, hey, I'm new to the. Like, this is my first chameleon. Like, I just, and it's insane. Like, where's your water bowl?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like right away, and it's not, and like, and I like, where's your, like, what substrate are you using? Like, well, I didn't have. They're like, no, you need substrate, and like that, it's insane, and it's fun. It's fun. It truly is fun. But I haven't done it in a minute. Maybe I should. Maybe it's changed. I don't think it has.
No,
but I get like torn apart with like all this awful husbandry advice. But
they have been left in seclusion, and so they've evolved into this very, very strange mindset.
Yes.
It is completely different. It's like going to an island and you find this very strange wildlife, and it's just we shouldn't waste time talking about aberrant.
But are there any myths about chameleons that are still around? They're pretty prevalent that drive you batty.
I think the thing that personally drives me crazy is when people say you got to have a 10% or a 10.0 or 12% UVB for a veiled chameleon, and you got to have a 5.0 or 6% for a panther. That is a very common thing. That's complete garbage.
It's 3 for panthers.
You can use either one for either one. You just have to have the right distance.
I'm at the zone, not the percent.
I mean, the UV index of 3. We have worked very hard to show that for both panthers and veiled chameleons, UV index 3 works. Yeah. Is that the ultimate? No, I mean, maybe somebody's going to come up with something different in the future, but it's going to be because they tested it and said, okay, here's more data. So that drives me crazy, because it's once you start attaching a UVB bulb to a chameleon species, you get all sorts of very bad things that you can do. If you tell me that I need to, that a 12% bulb needs to go, or a 10.0 has to be with a veiled chameleon, then okay, I've got a baby veiled chameleon in my little 30-inch, 24-inch cage, and I'm going to put a T5 10.0 over that thing. You're going to fry the poor kid. So you got to understand it's UV index. It's not the, what exactly Leah's saying. It's UV index. It's not the bulb. And if you can get that UV index, and we start going into a little bit more detail. It's not only UV index, but the how far that UV index is. Like if you give me a T5, I've got about this UV index of 3. This is my usable range. If you give me a one of those compact fluorescent bulbs that come with a chameleon kit, okay, you've got an effective range of this. So it's understanding how our equipment works that is important, and assigning a bulb to a species is sometimes it's worse to have the wrong answer than it is to have no answer.
You're very right about that. Yeah. Because I 6% is always just like, I feel like it's relatively safe. I use that with the babies. I don't have heat lamps. I would never use heat lamps. Honestly, I don't even have mine on right now. Like what you were saying, for the panthers down here, just get too warm, and they don't want that. They don't want that heat, and I could tell a huge difference. I was like, oh gosh, it was fine up until it started to get warmer outside. Then it was how to get that off. Yeah,
the only reason I've got some heat lamps on these guys because I'm saying, come on, grow. What's going on?
Where are they? I don't even see the heat lamp.
Oh, I've got these real cool ones I found.
Yay! I want to see these.
These are some low profiles.
I love that.
So these are really cool.
Ooh, that means I can stack more chameleon shelves up because I don't have to worry about the dome.
Yeah. Yep. There you go.
Yay.
And, let's see. James came up with another one that's good to talk about. He's saying the one that drives me crazy is fogging causes respiratory infections.
Yes, and that's what I was told when I got into it.
The thing is, that idea that fogging causes respiratory infections, it's like throughout the chameleon, the reptile community. I mean, I hear this in other communities, and somebody somewhere had a respiratory infection and decided that the fogger caused it. And I cannot find the original. I always say there's a kernel of truth in every rumor, even though if the conclusion is incorrect, there was a kernel, there was something, there was a data point there. And I can't find the data point of who was the original person who decided that fogging causes respiratory infections, because like that link, I found it on chewy.com. But it's a Zilla. Yeah, I'll try to find it. But the thing is that just kept persisting, and it became so ingrained into the community that people just believed it so intensely. And then I will also say there was some politics involved. People didn't like being told that misting was incorrect, and they were told it in a way that was inflammatory, and so there was a lot of politics involved, and so people just ran with it and refused to take a look at fogging because of this situation. But I mean, I have tried it for years, and then James has done it with adult Parsons chameleons. I did the show where when you want to bring on a new hydration method, you got to test it. You've got to test it on panthers and veiled. Yeah, those are easy. They can survive so much that I don't even consider them ones that you want to test on. Because
panthers and veils, or just veils?
Panthers and veils.
Both veils are so mean. They have like a little bit extra resilience compared to.
Yeah, they do. They have some attitude resistance to anything. I mean, they will survive just to spite you.
I know.
So just because a veiled chameleon does something doesn't mean it's good husbandry.
Right. No, it doesn't.
But if you want to, like hydration, if you want to do a hydration and want to say this is what works with chameleons, all right, then you've got to test it on adult Parsons chameleons, and you've got to test it on hatchlings.
They're two totally different.
Because if it works on that entire range, then you've got something. I mean, it doesn't mean it is the answer. It just means that, okay, now it's worth looking into this. And so I did that on an episode on the Chameleon Academy where I had it was all about fogging, and I had James there who had been testing this long term on adult Parsons chameleons, and then I had Sean McNeely who was using this for hatchlings. So those were very strategic, and I didn't talk about my experiences because, of course, he's Bill Strand. I mean, he can not only can he do all sorts of stuff, but he'll exaggerate or whatever motivations I have. So I've actually had people accuse me of saying that chameleons need big cages just so I could sell big cages through Dragon Strands. Like, oh
my gosh.
Maybe I make big cages because that's proper husbandry.
Let me tell you all about attaching two Reptile breezes together. Actually, 2 times for 2 Parsons. Yeah. I literally was just like, I'm just going to send you this money, and we're just going to get these cages, because that drove me batty. That was hard. Attaching the cages.
There is some challenge to it. That's true.
And I was going to try to do the French door, and I was like, nope, we're just going to make this very awkward to open the doors, because I'm not going to do that. I wish I had just bought the cages, is what I'm saying.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, it is. Although the cages that size are pretty expensive. The everything that goes into making putting 2 Reptile breezes together, there's a lot of labor and
so just a tad. Just a tad.
So yeah. Oh, James says we showed them, didn't we, Bill? You know what? But I don't know.
That's Mr. Mondays. He's cool now. Yeah, every day used to be a Monday for him. I got yes, but now it's my females. I got a Pissy Missy, Gnarly Carly. Yeah, they're pretty mean. And Sybil. I've had my worst chameleon bite ever by this little female. That took the still hurts female. Oh. So that's Sybil. Okay. Yeah, that's Mr. Mondays. He's cool now. He'll be 5 soon too.
What a dude.
So, yeah, he wants food. He wants more food.
You know, and then
Well,
James talks about going to Madagascar and prove. Yeah, we went to Madagascar, and it was, yeah, that was my. It's an incredible thing going to Madagascar and experiencing the wild and being there with a chameleon and experiencing what they're experiencing.
I want to go one time on that trip.
All right.
You said, all right.
I got 2 spaces open for the January 2026. So
Cade.
January 2026. We got 2 spaces. Come. It'll be fun.
It will be fun. It's going to be very relaxing. We're not going to do a whole bunch of hiking through the trails or anything, no.
Yeah. There's only 2 mountain hikes.
Oh, yes.
But it's amazing when you go to Madagascar. You do not have to go 3 days into the wilderness to see chameleons. You stop by the side of the road, and depending upon what side of where you stop, you're seeing everything from carpet chameleons to shamrock chameleons and Parsons chameleons.
Oh, that's so cool.
And even little linodums, little mini kaluma and brevicorn and crypticum. And it's like you don't have to hike into the mountains to see this. And you don't have to go deep into the mountains to see lemurs. It's an amazing trip, and it's not that difficult. Now, you want to start seeing satanic leaf-tailed geckos? Okay, you're going to have to do some hiking for those. But but the other ones, I mean, it's. I think what I'm trying to say is it's so accessible.
Yeah.
And, I mean, of course, getting to Madagascar is a little bit of a jaunt, but once you're there, it's accessible.
It's worth it too.
Let's see.
Thank you. Oh, these are more questions coming up.
Mark is asking, do you see any boas or monitors? In Madagascar, I saw the Sanzanita, I think it is. I did see the 2 boas that are there. I'm not a boa guy, so I'm not really.
Are you afraid? Are you scared of snakes?
Me?
Yes. Or the way you said, I'm not a boa guy. I didn't know if you were scared of snakes.
Oh, I just don't know all of the names.
I was giving you a hard time.
I love snakes. I love snakes. I love all reptiles. I mean, I say, okay, great. There's some non-chameleons over there. I mean, I don't know.
No, I just got my first snake, a Kenyan sandboa. I'm like, oh God, he looks like a little 5-year-old drew his face, and I love it. Like, they're really derpy looking. Well, thank you for coming on tonight. I had a very good time. This is a very fun interview.
Oh, everybody, thank you for coming by.
Screens, we weave our dreams through YouTube's lens. We see new themes, voices rise, a global choir, sharing stories far and near. From the depths of Reddit to Twitter's tweet, each post a thread, a connection sweet. In the digital maze, we find our way through the noise.
Oh, hey.